was a wee little babby, I used to be a huge horror junkie. In fact, my mom tells me that way back when, one of my favorite movies was Stir of Echoes. Which is hilarious because I have literally zero memory of that movie until she told me about it. What I do remember is that a ton of movies I really loved as a kid, and still do, were horror movies. Signs, 1408, Gothica, What Lies Beneath, Ghost Ship, 13 Ghosts, and a bunch more that I probably should not have been watching at the age that I was at. But despite all that, I'm a huge chicken shit that's afraid of everything. Spiders, public speaking, open water, the looming threat of nuclear holocaust. But you'd be wrong if you think I'm here to talk about that basic shit. No. Instead, I want to share with you some of the stupid stuff that freaks me out so I can give y'all something to judge me for. Number 1, pictures and things that stare directly at you. This is a really stupid one. I'm not sure I'd go so far as to say I have scopophobia or anything, at least not on a severe level, but ever since I was a kid, I've always been sort of freaked out by pictures and posters where the person or character is looking directly at you because I felt like they were staring at me and judging me somehow. And for some reason this feeling never left me, and to this day, even as an adult, if there is a picture, poster, plushie, or something with eyes staring right at me while I'm changing or whatever, I have to either turn the thing around or go into a different room. I have no idea where this started or why I still feel the way I do about it. Again, of course, I know they're not sentient beings capable of literally anything, but my brain is just stupid like that and refuses to accept anything different. Perhaps it's due to the fact that I'm just afraid of eye contact in general, as I'm pretty terrible at it and it always makes me really nervous. Or perhaps it's my crippling fear of disappointing anyone and my desperate need to impress and appease everyone around me regardless of sentience. But then again, I don't think anybody would want this watching them sleep, so maybe it's not such a weird thing to be freaked out by. Number 2, tiny animals. Now, don't get me wrong, I love puppies. I also love kittens. I love all things tiny and cute and fuzzy. They are my weakness and also my heart and soul. And I also never want them around me ever. Tiny animals give me incredible anxiety because I have this horrible, irrational fear that I'm going to accidentally step on them and kill them. Once my sister and I found a mouse and I started screaming like I was being murdered. Not because I was afraid of the mouse, but because I was afraid it would dart out and I'd accidentally fall on it and squish it. You might think I'm being too paranoid about this, but unfortunately this is something that actually happened to someone that I know. And since then, I've been way too afraid to have some kind of small animal within the vicinity. Instead, I'd rather just enjoy them at a distance or maybe in a small box or something. Number 3, J-horror. Ooh boy. There are no words to describe the horrible anxiety this shit fills me with. Remember how I mentioned earlier that I was a horror junkie as a kid? Well, when I was about 6 years old, a certain movie came onto my radar. I have no idea how I found out about it, but I needed to have it. So we picked it up at the store, popped it in once we got home, and it wasn't until the menu screen came up that I realized exactly what I was getting myself into, and it freaked me out. This movie was The Grudge, and for the last 15 years of my life, I have been absolutely terrified of it. I don't even remember if we actually got around to finishing it, let alone watching it, but I remember begging my mom to sell it, give it away, trash it, burn it, something to get it out of the house because I wanted nothing to do with it anymore. I was legitimately afraid that the lady would pop off the cover of the DVD and kill me in my sleep. Eventually, my mom got tired of my whining and just stuck it in the back of the movie cupboard, where it still resides today. This movie had such a lasting effect on me that I've developed a fear of anything that even remotely resembles the 2 main ghosts. I've dropped entire game series because the monsters look too much like Kayako. Hell, I even spent a stupid amount of time working up the courage just to look up pictures to use for this video because looking at them makes me feel like I'm gonna be cursed. I did watch the first 2 American remakes recently, and watching them as an adult made me realize how very not good they are. The first movie left me feeling disappointed because the ghosts were hardly even in it, and when my roommate and I watched the sequel, we made fun of it the entire time. Still though, I don't think either of us really slept that night. I have to give massive props to Takashi Shimizu for doing his job, I guess. Because even after almost 15 years, part of me still fears seeing Kayako's face peering at me from around a dark corner in the middle of the night. I'm not ashamed to admit that this movie is why I'm still afraid of the dark. And when my roommate and I watched the sequel, fuck. Now, logically, I know that Monsters and Demons fucking phone. Legit, one time the light bulb in my lava lamp went out and I didn't have a good way to get it. Wait. Legit, one time the light bulb. God damn it. Legit, one time God damn it! Then again, I don't think anybody would want this watching them while. Wait. Fuck. Just gonna break my neck. Ah! That's it! It's done! This is hard.